I'll just take 1 minute from the 10 allocated for my remarks to join others before me in praising and paying tribute to the Sufan Group and especially to the State of Qatar for the bold initiative of establishing and sustaining the Global Security Forum. Over the years, this forum has demonstrated its significance and relevance in providing the needed platform for leaders, experts, the academia, and professionals with diverse background and skills to engage in robust discourse on complex and multiple security challenges the world is confronted with a view to finding enduring solutions. Indeed, the deliberate and resilient intervention of the State of Qatar, sustained over the years in regional and global efforts and initiatives in peacemaking and peace building, including mediation processes and humanitarian interventions, to say the least, is legendary. From Darfur, Sudan, Libya, Chad, Afghanistan, and even beyond, Palestine, Iran, and so on, the State of Qatar has remained focused and committed despite the daunting nature of the endeavor and the challenges it faced for venturing out to help and assist. I'm delighted to be invited to this year's forum, and I want to salute you for this wonderful feat. Turning to the theme of the 2024 forum, strategic competition, the complexity of interdependence, I wish to observe, drawing from what all of us could see happening globally, and a little bit from my own experience, that there cannot be a better subject for discussion. Today, we are witnessing how existing and new actors, major and medium powers, are gradually playing key roles in shaping global and regional security issues and situations, expanding their influence and advancing their strategic interests across the globe, using all elements of national power. We are seeing how their activities and alignments are leading to the gradual emergence of new multipolar world with distinctive features, sometimes of contradictions, where small players are becoming more assertive and bold, breaking established and historical traditions and practices, forming new alliances, etc. All this has made interdependence more complex in shape and content, of course, with risks and opportunities. At the global level, we observe that with grave concern, the resort to self-help of increasing unilateralism by key state actors in confronting key security challenges. Multilateral institutions are increasingly becoming helpless and often irrelevant in addressing these concerns. However, interestingly, we are also witnessing the emergence of new multilateral organizations and political alignment or realignment within the existing organizations and institutions. We have seen the emergence and the continuation of BRICS, for instance, and in the West Africa region, we have what is now called as Alliance des États du Sahel, or the Alliance of the Sahel States. In West Africa, over the last 4 years, we have witnessed a gradual return to authoritarian and military rule, especially in the Sahel regions, invariably attributed to internal and external factors, but also to personal ego. The risk that more countries will fall are present and constitute a major challenge to the authority of ECOWAS, and is threatening the unity and solidarity among member states. Now, at this point, let me just say, earlier on, there was a discussion about the reason for coup, lack of good governance or bad governance, and so on and so forth. But we also know that coup d'etat have taken place. History is replete with the reasons for personal ego, personal, for instance, palace coup, and so on. In Niger, for instance, I'll give you an example. There were about 4 or 5 coups before this last one. And the last administration before this last one that was actually overthrown decided to stop this phenomenon. And what they did was to now move away the commands of the armed forces from the vicinity of the power, of the seats of power. They moved them out. Now, and then that administration survived for 10 years and there was no coup. Suddenly, after 10 years and after a new administration came, the person that actually was guarding was doing the, and during this period, of course, the brigade of guard that was guarding the power, the seat of power, was revamped and given a lot of wherewithal. Now, unfortunately, that same person decided one morning to lock up the president and wait and started negotiating with some other arms of the military, of the armed forces. And then by 2-3 days, they established and decided to take over power. Now, what do you do with that kind of situation? Now, the question here is whether it is a coup happened because of bad governance or just because of personal ego or politics, personal experience, and personal interest, or even probably insinuated or instigated from outside just because the government or the president is doing very well for his country, and it's about good governance, but that good governance actually is not good for the interests of somebody else. Now, that is something else. But the fact today, whether in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, and even in Guinea, is that we are back to square one. ECOWAS is weak because the 4 countries or 3 countries decided to pull out of ECOWAS. They pulled out of the G5 Sahel that the president of the ECOWAS just mentioned. They expelled the UN mission. They pulled out of agreements that the country had with EU. The Algiers agreement is no more functioning. But worse still is that we are seeing a rise of terrorism in the region. We're seeing the rise of all kinds of transborder crimes and criminalities. Worse, we're seeing the increasing alliance between rebel groups that are fighting actually for good governance, for inclusivity, aligning themselves with terrorists of Al-Qaeda, Janim, and so on and so forth. All this because, of course, the international pressure that is supposed to be there to help restore constitutionality is not there, unfortunately. Now, meanwhile, there is a general consensus, even within this forum, that current security challenges have assumed global character and require global partnership to address them. No country or entity can address its security and related challenges without entering into partnership with others. This is the new reality in the global environment. However, even this partnership comes with considerable challenges given the intensity of the competition, the issues at stake, and the complexity of interdependence at play. As aptly captured by the theme of this forum, strategic competition is presenting a key challenge to global security with a variety of complex issues requiring delicate balance in addressing them. We must therefore at all times think strategically and act intelligently as we confront these challenges in an increasingly competitive and complex world environment. I believe this is the crux of this year's session of the GSF, to find a way to navigate through strategic competition in the global environment and the complex partnerships that will usher in a just, fair, and equitable world order for peace and sustainable development. Given the determination I have seen over the years, and with the array of scholars, experts, and professionals assembled here, I'm confident that the forum will galvanize good momentum towards achieving its goals for a safer and secure world for all. Finally, let me once again commend Ali Sufan for a job well done and I wish you successful deliberations. Thank you very much.